Hi there, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Chris. I hope you're doing great. Today I'm surrounded by SmallRig lights. We got the RC120 series on my left and the RC220 series on my right. What's the difference between the two? Well, let's find out. By the way, I recently made a video about the 120 series that you can find up here if you didn't watch it yet. First off, the power of the 120 is 120 watts versus 220 watts for the 220 series. The best way for us to know how powerful these lights are and to compare them is to check the lux output. And the distance we're going to take is 1 meter, which is the same as 3 feet. If we take the 120D, it produces 62,600 lux, while the 220D produces 98,700 lux. The 120B bicolor produces 52,800 lux, and the 220B produces 84,500 lux. So you can see right here that the 120 series produces 1/3 less than the 220 series. That is a big gap and a big difference. In terms of color reproduction index, also known as CRI, we're 95+, which is very good for this type of light. The Kelvin temperature for the daylight versions, 120D, 220D, is 5600, which is daylight. The Kelvin temperature for the B models, which is the 120B and the 220B, ranges between 2700 and 6500, which basically means that you can go way warmer and cooler depending on the situation and what type of scene you're trying to lit up. For example, if you're shooting a scene where you're indoor and you're in the house, in the living room, for example, you're not going to have strong LEDs that have daylight. At least in my house, we have warmer lights that allows to keep your eyes a little bit more rested before going to bed, and that way you don't have so much blue light. So in that case, you can use the B models, which will give you that result. Now, in terms of weight, something quite surprising is that the 120 model is only 100 grams lighter than the 220 model. In fact, the 120 version is 1.55 kg roughly, and the 220 version is 1.65 kg. So despite the 220 series being 1/3 more powerful in terms of output, they managed to pack that into the same body shape and to only weigh 100 grams more. So that is pretty impressive, in my opinion. In terms of noise of the fan, because as you know probably, there is a fan to avoid the light overheating, it produces for the 120 series 27 decibels, and for the 220 series it produces 30 decibels. 30 decibels is the same as a whisper. So you can see right there that you're not going to hear anything even when the fan is running full blast on your mic that I have above my head right now, and I never had a problem or any issue whatsoever because of the fan being too loud. The plug to power these lights is very secure. As I mentioned in my 120 series video, you really have to just plug it in. There's a pin that allows you to put it in place securely, and it's not going to come off if you accidentally pull the cable. And it also allows you to have the peace of mind that your cable is properly plugged in and it's not going to move. It has a 270 degrees tilting arm here, so you can really put it in any position and direction that you want. It is made of sturdy plastic, the handle. This part has some metal parts. This is made of aluminum or metal, so it's not going to go anywhere. The important pieces are made of metal and the rest is made of plastic. But the fact that it's made of plastic reduces the price for the end customer that's going to buy these lights. So it is a good choice. The app that you can download for free allows you to set different moods and different effects such as flash, paparazzi, lighting, party, faulty light bulb, TV, flames, fireworks, you name it. There's a lot of effects that you can apply using this app, and the app can be used up to 100 meters away. So if you're going to use a lot of lights around the set, you can do so thanks to this app. The other cool thing about the app is that you can group these lights. For example, you can have the Bs and the Ds together, or you can have the 120s and the 220s together, or have a lot of 120s or a lot of 220s. However you want to do it, you can really organize your lights and have them set by groups so that you can always have the same amount of power output or the same color if you're using the B version. You know, it's very useful when you start having a lot of lights on a set. Now let's talk price, because it is great that the 220 looks the same, it's almost the same weight, it's more powerful, but what about the actual costs? The 100D costs $175 and the 220D costs $329. The 120B costs $207, while the 220B costs $369. So you are adding a third more power between the 120 and the 220, but you're also almost doubling the price between the two. So that is something to consider. Is it worth the money for you based on your needs, or is 120 watts enough for your work or for whatever you're going to be using it for? For example, the light that's lighting me right now is an Aperture 120D Mark II. I've been using this light for years now. I had it for maybe 5 years, 4 years, and it works perfectly for my needs. So having a 220 can be useful. I did use it on a couple of different occasions when I needed a little punch of light, like for example, having the sun come through a window from outdoor. That can be useful, but otherwise 120 is pretty good for most case scenarios, for example, indoor, from a YouTube setup. So yeah, it really depends on what you're going to be needing these lights for. The package comes with a hyper reflector. It is this dark gray, nice case. It's the same exact one as for the 120 series, so there's no difference there again. They look really, really good. They look sturdy. Everything fits easily inside. So yeah. So I hope I answered all your questions. If you have any question left, obviously don't hesitate to hit me up, write it down in the comment section below. I'll answer gladly as soon as possible. And until my next video, keep shooting, keep smiling, and take care. Bye.